to start with just an opening statement before we take questions, that'd be good.
Uh, you know, it stings. It came down to rebounds and hustle plays. The taking care of the ball part was part of that, but the turnovers that really hurt us were ones that got snatched right out of our hands after the rebound when we got rebounds. And we really defended. They're a very, very good team in game situations, out of timeouts, on sidelines and baseline out of bounds. And I thought we did a really good job forcing tough first shots, but you got to finish it with a rebound, and it just has to happen. And I thought there were a lot of 50-50s that they won. And I thought a really distinctive one is, that ball goes off of Charlize Ledger Walker's foot, and she dives, lays out of bounds, and somehow tips it back in. And, those are the ones, those are just really credit to them. They made some of those hustle plays. And, it's hard to have a game come down to. They scored, I think it was 14 points off of their, or 15 points off of their 14-0 boards. And, I think in a crucial one out of a free throw box out, I think they got a 3 on in the fourth quarter. And when they were making their comeback after we had gone up 7. And, it's a really, it really stings, and really proud of their response in the second half. But we had 23 passion plays in the first half and 37 in the second. And I think that's, very telling of when we went on our runs. And so, I think Mari and Charisma, I was listening in on what they were saying. They were right on. I mean, it hurts. There's, we did compete and made some tough plays and really came after it. And the fourth quarter was our best quarter. I thought we did a good job getting Imari touches in critical situations. And I thought Charisma and Imari in the middle of the floor, that's not a burden to be a go-to scorer. That's a privilege that they've earned. And I thought they did a really good job in the pick and roll in the middle of the floor, having the judgment when to get to the cup and when to pocket pass and take advantage of that. And, so there's a lot of good things. But the thing that's hard for me is that on rebounds, which is such a stalwart part of our program, to lose the game based on that's really hard.
Grace, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You guys were sort of crawling back at times throughout the game, but it was really that 12-0 run right in the beginning of the fourth quarter that was sort of a turning point. What did you say to the team prior that really inspired them to make that run?
Yeah, Grace, I love that you guys think I have that kind of power. But remember, when you say that, and I always share this with you guys, if you're going to give me credit for what I said to them before the 12-0 run, that means it's my fault for not getting them to follow what I said before that point to go down, So I don't think it was anything anyone said. I think we had to settle in, and, the game teaches you throughout it, right? And the team that can have awareness and go, okay, what's required of me now? What adjustments need to be made? What does this situation require of me? And, I thought we made some really good adjustments in that. Early in the game, we were getting really good post-ups from our guards, but then it became really apparent that Mari had the hot hand and they were having the hardest time matching up with her, and they went small. And so, I think we needed to take advantage of that, but I don't think it was anything that anybody said. I do think they were really locked into that fourth quarter. I think their talk and huddles were really good. Their body language was really, really good. We made a couple of errors, and it comes down to those focus errors. That we have to take responsibility for those, that they're going to be, and I have to, it starts with me. I told them in the locker room, look, I got to watch the film tonight and go, okay, how can I help us get, 3 possessions better tomorrow? And how can I lead the way in that? But how can everybody do that? And, this one really hurts. There's no way around it. But, what's the only option? The only option is to continue to grow and move forward and give to each other, and try to replicate the things we did well and try to grow in the things that are deficits for us.
Thank you.
Mike?
Hey, Coach, it seems like in the last few games, you guys had a little bit of trouble trying to get the ball into the paint, and it looked like that was the same thing happening in the first few minutes. But like you said, they started getting the ball into Imari, and you come away with 28 points in the paint. I think more. I didn't check the final stats. I'm sorry, but also you had Angela return too. You know, you guys talk about you don't want moral victories, but how promising is that to see your post kind of start to develop and to emerge even late in the season?
Yeah, I think that, she's only practiced 2 times since October 30th. And so, you're talking about, trying to, it's pretty not bad. I don't think the stats sort of tell the tale of, I thought she did some really good jobs switching on to the ball screens on guards. Something that I really watched her in the Olympics last year. She did a great job when Serbia was switching onto smaller guards. She's really good laterally, and she can defend people smaller and keep them in front. And so I thought she really did a good job on that. I think offensively, that's the challenging piece, is getting her into a chemistry, with so few practices. But it definitely helps to have her back. It helps. She's a great physical presence, and I think she's just going to only get better. And now the challenge is trying to get her to get better individually, but also get her a part of the unit so that our collective gets better and our chemistry gets better. And that's going to have to be a real creative job of our part to help us do that. But it's great to have her back. And just going back to the point you made about attacking the paint, Imari obviously is the easy one to see, but I thought Riz's attacks off the bounce, I thought Natalie had a couple of key ones in the third quarter where she was attacking off the bounce. And I think that was important because it got some Ledger Walker in foul trouble, and she was just a little bit more tentative as a defender. And I thought that paid dividends in our run down the stretch. She just was not able to be as aggressive, so she didn't foul out of the game. And so, those kinds of situations were really good. I thought Cameron was also continues to be a huge lift for us. She's just so smart and makes so many good hustle plays. It was great to see her make that jumper, and I've really been wanting her to shoot the ball more. That jumper in the fourth quarter on the left elbow, about little inside of that. So, I think some of those things, you in order for us to really continue to just compete, I think it's a really fine line. I call it the healthy tension, that you got to really be really, really strong in about the areas that we fell short and the lapses that we had that were under our control. But I also think we have to continue to celebrate growth areas and ways individuals are growing as well as our team. And so, it's a really, Coach Wooden used to always talk to me about that. And it's an art form. It's not a scientific formula. And, I think that's going to be really crucial down the stretch. And I think a big theme for us is to be completely present, narrow our focus, and attack the now. All we got to do is think about, what do I need to do now? And what does this team need from me now? And it's got to be always about the team. And we got to really just narrow our focus and get better each day.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
I appreciate you guys.
Okay. I think Sue, did you have a final question?
Actually, Coach Cori, you kind of already answered it. I was going to ask you how on the motivational side, obviously the kids are hurting over this loss, and they pretty much know what they have to do, and how do you, go hard on them, but have compassion and motivate them at the same time. I think you kind of covered it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think this is when, all of the relational deposits over a long period of time are really, really important, because we need to have enough trust and to have enough knowledge of how that person is wired and have enough trust built that we're able to just communicate through that. And really thankful for a staff that is relentless on that front. And, that relational trust and those relational deposits are the ones that carry us through these tough times.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
All right.